guys, welcome to Antique Sprinklers. Today we're going to be talking about an old agricultural sprinkler from Buckner. It's a rocker jet, and I'm not going to go too deep into the history because that's another video that I've had in the works for a while. It's going to take a while longer to complete it, but I do want to do kind of an end-to-end lifetime of the rocker jets as Buckner made them. But today we're going to just focus on one. It's the Buckner 221, and this guy came along kind of as the second generation that Buckner made after the 700 series of the late 40s and early 50s. And it was introduced maybe around 1952, I want to say, as near as I can tell. And this one has a 1-inch female inlet and a single 3/16 nozzle on it. And that makes it kind of interesting. And I'll have a little more about that in a minute. But the 1955 Buckner catalog describes this as a sprinkler meant for extra large capacity, fast precipitation at high pressure. And it works well, it says, as either a dual or a single nozzle. And this one's a single nozzle, it has a plug in the back. And it's kind of cool. It's got the aluminum lever that rocker jets had. And because it's only full circle, it's only half of the lever that you would expect to see. The water only has to hit this side of the spoon to drive the sprinkler clockwise. It has the plug in it. That the part for that is the 24P plug rather than the inner nozzle. And then it has this, as I mentioned, 1-inch female inlet. And inside here should be a 1-inch male bearing, and I think it's 3/4, and that's part of the mystery of this particular sprinkler. And then, in what I think might even be lead, there is this cool B stamped into the back end of the lever, and I just love that old Buckner logo. And so, the things that make this sprinkler interesting to me, beyond the fact that it's a rocker jet, and rocker jets are cool, they had an option. So the rocker jets by this time came with the GDG bearing, which is Buckner's equivalent to Rainbird's TNT bearing. Might have even predated it a little bit, I'm not sure about that. But it's the better bearing. It's the kind of bearing you would recognize on modern day impact sprinklers. But as an option, and it was the 6A option, you could actually get it with a 1-inch female. Now, as I look at this though, the bearing inside it actually looks like it's 3/4 inch, which would make this actually a 211. Yes, a 211P, and not a 221. But the lever very clearly says 221 on it. The other thing that makes me think that maybe somebody swapped a lever somehow on this guy is that it has a 3/16 nozzle here, and the smallest you could get for these guys, and I'll look it up here so I don't misspeak, but the smallest you could get was a 13/64 in that spot. So basically one size up, because 3/16 is 12/64. So that makes it a bit of a mystery. And I've looked through performance charts for the 221s across a number of years, 1955, 59, and then 65 through 67. And I can't find this configuration anywhere. However, when I hold up the 221s I have, or the 211s, they just don't look the same to me. I think that somehow they made a 221 with a 3/16 nozzle, and who knows? I've been stuttering and stammering over this thing, so I might cut all this. I probably won't. I'll leave it in. So anyway, so they were available, like I mentioned, starting around 1952. I have not seen them in catalogs from the 1970s, so I think they were discontinued around then. The full or part circle rocker jets, that 500 series you're familiar with, continued up until about 1980 or so, and even the big guy, that 5910, the 1.5-inch and the 2-inch models, they had those then as well. But these agricultural rocker jets were long gone by then, and it's too bad. They're pretty cool. This one's pretty creaky when it runs, but it does run well. It just makes an interesting noise. And that's pretty much what I have to say about the 221, other than it grew a heck of a lot of crops out there in California in particular. And like I said, this one is kind of a weird one given the bearing size and the nozzle configuration on it. But, and like I said, well, there'll be a bigger video coming that does proper justice to the history of rocker jets, so that's not what this is. Let's go ahead though, and at this point just watch this guy operate. Thanks for watching.